Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. I'm your host, Nick, managing editor, and I'm joined in studio by almost our usual crew. No rush today, but we have Nathan, and after a not-so-brief hiatus, Imran's back.
Yeah, I feel like we talk about this hiatus thing almost every other week.
Like
you're just here every other week. It's not a hiatus. It's just a schedule.
it's like you have a family or something.
I had attendance issues in school too, so it's all good. I'm consistent at minimum.
Nothing
fair.
if not
Consistently,
consistent.
yeah, consistently inconsistent.
Yeah. Nathan got a new phone.
Can we not? Can we not?
I just thought it was fucking hilarious. You ranting about it off mic just now. It was fucking hilarious.
Well, you should have hit record and then spliced it in as a fucking outtake, but you didn't do that.
I should
He
have hit
didn't
record.
get a new phone. He moved to a different tech planet.
Not just a new phone.
Yeah,
Bass backwards, sad fruit planet
that's right.
with sad fruits that try to think for you, but they're stupid, so they can't think.
You gave up choice. You gave up choice.
I did give up choice, and I miss my choices.
And
I also miss having a directory. Holy shit.
But now you can use CarPlay.
I didn't use it before.
Oh, you didn't use Android
Well, now you
Auto?
can change.
I never use Android
Oh,
Auto.
no?
If I use like one of the phone built-in softwares,
Yeah?
it's because I hate your shit and I gave up.
Oh, okay.
And I've only done it once, and actually it was with the Miata.
Your own car. Nice.
Oh god, we're off to a great start this week.
Not
Okay.
mine, with the one in California. Because I really needed maps, and the car
Yeah.
didn't have nav. Like, oh, this is a fucking problem.
What a piece of shit. All right. This week we are once again we're in firmly in crossover season, but we do have some cool stuff this week. Imran, why don't you kick it off and tell us about some of the things you had a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we've had some cool stuff actually, like over the last little while. Not as NPC as we'd expect for January, but I was in the new BMW X3 M50 last week.
Oh my god, Nathan was in an X3 too.
No way!
What?
Oh, boy, neat.
Did we just become best friends?
No. That's the stupidest thing to bond over. Why would you say that to me?
You don't bond over B58s?
Yeah, I do. That shit fucks. But, okay, so I drove, not yours, but I drove one just like yours briefly when I was at the big BMW event last winter, fall, a while ago, whenever it was. And I think I prefer my basic ass, relatively plebeian one with no M anything and the little engine.
Really?
Like,
So did you?
as a commuter vehicle.
Sure.
Yeah.
I haven't driven the base one.
Yeah, and that's fair, right? So how are you finding it?
Honestly, I really liked it.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
I actually was pretty blown away. It just does all the BMW things.
Yeah.
It is a lot quicker than you expect it to be.
Oh yeah, it's they're not kidding with the M on that thing.
Yeah, really, like you kind of question like this.
Mm-hmm.
This should just be full out M.
Yeah, well, because I think the way they've been like moving towards, and I brought this up a couple times before, and it's I don't blame you for not remembering because it's hard to keep track of. But I think for most of their cars, they're kind of getting rid of the like M. So it goes like little M, say M40,
Sure.
M or M60 with the bigger engine. Usually, in this case, it goes X330, X3 M50.
Right.
And then there will probably be an X3 M competition. That's like the full fat, holy shit, angry one.
Yeah.
So you kind of have like what the vehicle formerly known as the X3 M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like it. Like
It's pushing damn near 400 horsepower. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Out
And
of a
it's-
non-full M car?
It's probably more than that.
It is certainly more than that.
Yeah.
Especially now, I think it's like a mild hybrid powertrain as well, right? So, but it is real quick. It has the what do they call them? Iconic sounds that you can enable. That's literally what they call it.
I know it's what they call it. It's so tacky, but they're good.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
Like it's like the fact that you can turn it off.
Yeah,
is-
like it doesn't not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact it's like there's that boom that happens when you shift. Like
I got no time for that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I hate that shit.
And it's just like I think for a crossover, especially because it's not like a dedicated sports car.
Yeah.
It just adds to the fun because like this
Yeah.
is a family vehicle, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's good at being a family vehicle,
It's
and it
great.
just happens to be really fast.
yeah, and theatrical. Like it is, right? I was a little in photos, at least the looks of the new X3. I was a little like, why does it need to kind of look a little melty compared to the last generation? Like, it's like they're trying to make it look like their I-Series cars, like the EVs, and it's like, you don't need to.
I get a fair bit of XM in the rear three quarters.
I get a lot of 5.
Yeah.
I get a lot of 5. It's got the same, like, really, I don't know a better word, squat. Like, it looked like from straight on from the rear, especially like slightly offset from the rear.
Yeah.
It looks like a pyramid. It's very triangular. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get where you're
like the rear three quarter in that thing is not good. Like, so, I really, it's a good vehicle, but not the best looking.
So
one.
I don't know if it was because I was enamored by its drive.
Yeah.
But I grew to kind of like how it looked. I still think the previous X3 looked better.
Yeah, the previous X3 was really handsome. There's a big problem for it.
Yeah. It really was. But like this one, I think it kind of grows on you.
I didn't hate it. It's just like there's some angles that are just awkward, and usually I warm up like you did, warm up on a press car, and I didn't, and I think it didn't help that with this one. Like, usually when I pick up a car, I try to shoot it pretty fast.
Yeah.
And in the process of shooting it, I find things to love about it.
Right.
So for this one, I had it for 2 weeks, and I shot it like right at the tail end of it.
Yeah.
And like, okay, now I'm gonna start, and it actually just upset me more trying to find good angles on it. It just front three quarter fine. The rear is still kind of funky on it.
Yeah. Nick, you were saying something?
I find, it's the same old song and dance with any new BMW. Everyone complains that it's ugly in photos and whatnot. But like me personally, I actually even from the beginning, I didn't mind how it looked.
Oh yeah, like this new generation.
I kind of liked it. It helps that BMW is smart enough not to put the big sniff on it.
Right.
Just medium big sniff.
Medium sniff.
Yeah, it works on a crossover though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's another one in the garage right now where it really works, but we will get into that shortly. But yeah, as far as like modern BMW designs go, the X3 was the first one in a long time that didn't totally alienate me.
Yeah, like
I agree.
It's a very new design.
Yeah,
like it uses like every tenet of BMW's like new design language with lots of diagonal lines and flashes and flame surfacing and shit.
But it's not offensive.
But it's not offensive.
Yeah.
It,
definitely not as polarizing as most other stuff that BMWs pump out.
But I think our sort of lukewarmish opinion on the looks of this new X3 is because, at least for me, back to that previous generation, they did a really good job.
Yeah, that thing was real handsome.
Yeah, it looked very nice. And I think like if I take that out of my mind and just think of this one in a vacuum, like it's
certainly not a bad looking vehicle. Like and it looks the way you would expect a brand new BMW to look.
Yeah,
like they got that commodity product thing down.
Did your version, the non-M, have that weird angled grille situation?
Yep, they all do.
Why?
Lines, bro.
They're in the interior too. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
They're like all these like cross diagonal lines everywhere.
Yeah, because lines are sick.
Yeah.
Fucking more lines.
Like
the exterior has no lines, and then we'll just add lines and details.
Yeah, diagonal,
like,
every which direction for some reason because it's edgy.
I can't. Are you for real?
Yeah.
Like you complain when BMW does the big grill, and now they do a smaller grill, but you're still complaining about it
because it's a weird pattern.
They should
like
go.
It's not bad. It's just it's one of those things like
it's just odd,
like the fucking lack of an embedded keyboard on fucking iOS, like or embedded punctuation in the keyboard. Like, what were you thinking? Maybe there's a rationale to it that I'll come around to, but I'm not seeing it now.
Look, sometimes you just got it right the first time. And you don't have to evolve too much.
Fair enough.
But they're also, I guess, just trying to differentiate.
I know you have to. You can't bring out the same car over and over again.
How'd you like the interior? Because like context, when I took Nathan's out for a couple of errands, and like I think the interior is largely well executed. I didn't like the ambient lighting on the doors. I think that looked pretty tacky. The way it's
the boomerang,
really, the boomerang on the doors. I don't like that.
I don't know. I think
they call it digital cockpit experience, something like that.
Called?
It's like a big wraparound thing, and I didn't love the center console illumination either. It just seems like a lot.
So, but I mean, don't most BMWs have a lot of ambient lighting?
Yeah, but I like the way they did it before, where it's just like strips.
Yeah,
yeah. So they kind of switched it to like in the X3 at least to this like a glow, like this. Yeah. Thicker,
like a large diffuse piece of light as opposed to just a little LED
probably
strip.
an inch wide, like instead of being like a little tiny, sharp strip. I don't know. I thought it was different. Like, is it something that I'd be like, yeah, I want this? Maybe not, but it wouldn't deter me from getting.
Yeah,
it,
like
getting
I don't
X3.
think it's like egregious, and it's also like there is nothing else on the market doing that right now.
Yeah, and
it's definitely just that one.
Yeah, I just kind of liked how it was different. Even the way those boomerangs, I'll call them, integrated all the door controls like in between, which
and it kind of highlighted where everything is. Like there's a rationale to it.
Yeah, like it just I didn't mind it. Like I actually thought it was all right. I liked here's me sounding like a hypocrite. I like the fact that they tried something different.
Wow, no one's
that different. That's too different.
Too different is bad. Too different is bad. Slightly different is fine.
Yeah,
the same is perfect.
Change your insides is fine. Change your personality, not your looks.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Jesus Christ.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I told you. What did I say? Consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
But,
that's fair.
So it's fast. It sounds cool, which can be dialed up or down.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the chassis?
I thought it was. I think BMW does a fantastic job for almost every one of their vehicles. Like they, and especially in this one, I thought it was. I thought it was close to perfect in terms of balancing sport and comfort. It could. In some ways, I actually felt like it could probably dial up the sport a little bit.
Okay.
But that's because the powertrain makes you feel like it's like a full blown M.
It's so fast, and like you could harden up the chassis and match it a bit. Yeah.
But not in a bad way.
I get you.
I think like I would have zero complaints. No, I thought it drove very well. I thought the steering was, I mean, typical BMW. Like obviously, the feel is not great.
Not great and like super edgy. Like really high caster, like wants to slam back to center.
Yeah, very much so.
That's a very Emmy thing. So like the base one I had didn't do that. It was way more
really?
like natural, relaxed. I actually really liked it.
Oh, I even feel like my E90 does that.
What the
like wants to like snap.
Like
yeah.
That's BMW geometry, really.
Yeah.
But like especially like the further up the M food chain you go, the more aggressive they get about it.
Yeah.
Where it's almost like it's sprung, like like.
But yeah, it's just so this was 85K ish as spec'd.
Yeah.
Which is not nothing.
That's still though. That's a deal.
It is though. It's not bad. Yeah, like it's a lot bigger than X3s of old.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in that thing.
Yeah, like a couple of people mistook it for like thinking it was an X5. Because it is probably the size of a 3-generation old X5.
Yeah, like nothing about it feel like they're compact, but it doesn't feel compact at all.
No, and I think they kind of were okay with growing it because obviously you have the X1, X2 now.
Yeah, the X1's doing really well. I'm seeing them all over the place.
Yeah, those ones that look a little.
I like those. They're actually like surprisingly conventional.
The X1 or the X2?
X1.
Which one is it?
The X1. It's the same shape as an X5, just debigulated by about 30%.
So the X2 is the one that's
the X2 is the funny looking one. Which
Good God,
it's like
I kind of like. Get out.
It drives great. You were saying looks wise?
maybe.
Yeah, it kind of. There's a little bit of like a, like, what do you call it? Ugly Pitbull look to it. Like,
I think the rear 3/4 on it is interesting, and I like things that are interesting.
That's not the word I would use to describe it, especially since I saw one in the wild. Like last week, I was like, "What the fuck?" Someone actually bought one.
I'd rather have an X1.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the X2 is neat.
So,
I like the previous X2 a little more.
yeah.
I can't even put my finger on what that looked like. Super forgettable.
Oh, it was very forgettable.
Helps that I saw one this morning, so I can very clearly picture it. It's like, oh, yeah, it's kind of cool.
But coming back
Anyway,
to the X3 real quick. Last year, I think it was, I really loved the Stelvio quad.
Right. Okay.
And then
You also really love the Genesis GV70.
I was going to say, the Genesis GV70 is also very nice.
Yep.
In a different way. It's not as theatrical. It's more luxury than
Yeah, it's a little more traditional.
than the X3. It's actually a pretty competitive segment. I think the Stelvio is still probably the most exciting of the bunch.
Absolutely.
But that interior compared to this X3, even compared to the Genesis, is feels like it's 1998. That thing,
Fair.
like it's not great.
Yep.
But because that engine is special,
Makes up for a lot of it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But
Bene.
this X3, I forget what the Stelvio quad costs, but
I want to say 100.
I want to say
Mid-90s, something like that?
I think it just
It was
crossed the
mid-90s.
100.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
mid-90.
So this X5 splits the difference. The GV70 I remember was back then was 77 all for the top end.
Yep.
It's a really good sweet spot.
Yep.
At least between those two. Very good sweet spot. It does what both of those do. Just maybe at a slightly lesser level, but because it does both, I could see why it's so popular.
Yeah, and like, it's obviously a much better deal than the GLC 43 as well. Like, that thing, the one we had a few months ago, that was like 90, 95-ish as tested.
And the thing
And
is,
that had just the 4-cylinder powertrain. Just the Turbo 4.
wow, that's nuts. And
Like, to be fair, that Turbo 4 is kind of an accomplishment in and of itself.
Didn't have the e-performance thingamagig too? Don't the 43s have that?
43?
Not the 43s. No, the E-Performance, it's basically PHEV.
Or e-turbo or some... Because I remember like John's C43 sedan had like some electric augmentation.
Yeah, no, there's the standard 48-volt mild hybrid assist.
But there was a huge badge on the fender. So that everyone knew you were very cool with your electricity.
This one just had electrified turbo or something
That's what it was.
E-turbo, whatever.
Yeah.
The thing with Mercedes, I know we've harped on this a little bit, is I remember there was some QC issues there. Like, remember you and I actually talking about the door handle being like moving when you used it. BMW is, in my opinion, among the best brands at interior quality these days. Like everything. When you think of German, like built like a tank, like we used to say about the old school Benzes and stuff.
Yep.
I think of like modern day BMWs.
Yeah.
And you get
everything
that-
feels nice.
Yeah.
And you get that sense in the X3 M50. X3 M50. Meanwhile, you don't get that in the GLC 43. That costs like a good $5-10 more.
Yeah. Even like my base X3, I think it was 65 grand, and it felt like a really nice BMW.
Yeah.
Regardless of price point, it felt like a really nice car.
Yeah, and I think they are right now the definition of what we think of a German car. Audi's a little too Volkswagen-y, and then
I don't even know I'd say that. They're just kind of stagnant.
that's true actually. As I was saying that, I'm like, what?
Wait, what are they
Audi
even
do we
making
just
right now?
have?
Like, yeah,
what's the last one we had? Because like it feels like they have nothing.
yeah, they're
new.
kind of chilling. They're in a bit of a holding
Like
pattern.
there's no new Q5.
Let's not go too far down that path. This is an auditory medium, and if we sit here going, we're going to lose people.
Yeah, no, but like my point is, like the Q5 is still very, very much an aging product at this
Yeah,
point.
it's nice. Like
like-
I kind of get the conservatism they're going for. It works for them. It's just kind of like hard to sell samey. If I could chime in with like one sort of like circle around last point on the whole X3 discussion. So having driven, all right, I'll go fuck myself. That's fine. Having driven both, I think the X3 M50 was a lot of fun to drive for 15 minutes.
Right.
For 2 weeks that I had my base X3 34, I think I prefer that because
A little more comfortable?
very much in the same vein that like you drove the M5 we had, right?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay. But very much in the same vein that the M5 like makes a lot of compromises to be as fast as it is. Like if your top priority isn't performance,
Right.
if you just want a comfy commuter car and you just by default are getting the most expensive one, don't do that. You're getting a worse commuter.
Right.
And I got like obviously not even near as much of the same way, but like some of that same vibe. Like it's a lot louder, not like obtrusive loud, but you get more out of the engine because they're trying to sell more out of the engine to you, right? It's tighter, it's harsher. It's not bad by any means, but if you're just buying an X3 to be a commuter and you don't really care that much about going fast, really fast, because even the base X3 handles well and then it's quick enough.
That's a 4-cylinder?
Yeah, but it's a nice 4-cylinder, and it moves along fine.
Like is it the B58?
It's the
B48.
B48,
sorry.
but like they've refined it out to a point where it doesn't feel like a compromised base shithouse
It's
powertrain.
around like 300 horses, right? Isn't it?
Just shy, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same mild hybrid setup, so it's super slick. Like,
Did you find the...
And I got like 8 liters per 100. Like, damn.
I got with the M50, I got just over 10. Wow. And I was
What?
and I was in manual mode like all the time.
Oh,
and like
obviously.
and
God, they're good.
like but I've noticed that on a lot of BMW products, and especially with the B58. Like it
Yeah, they're just really good about that.
Did you find
pretty good fuel economy.
Did you find the auto start stop system was damn near imperceptible in yours, Imran?
I was in sport mode a lot.
Fair. Okay.
Evaluating a vehicle properly.
Fair.
I appreciate this. Yeah.
That is certainly how you
I like mine for how soft and quiet it was.
Yeah. I'd love
Different
to.
strokes.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man.
As you're saying it, I'm like, should I just agree to act like I remember, or
Well, what I was getting at was like,
So we had a minor tech cutoff there.
Yeah, sorry
but
about
picking back up where we
anyway.
left off, Nick, you were saying something about something.
yes. So what I was getting
I'm
at,
really fucking good at this, guys.
what I was getting at was that the auto start stop in Nathan's X330 was damn near imperceptible. Like so we drove back from me dropping off my press car that
Right.
week, and he was like, "Pay attention to the auto stop next time." Couldn't pick it up. Couldn't pick up on it at all. I only kind of, sort of, slightly felt it once.
Okay.
That's it.
okay? So I will say for like 95% of the time, I was enjoying sport mode.
Yes.
But for the other 5%, I can tell you this: I do not recall ever thinking of the start stop, which
Which is great.
Yeah.
which then goes to show that you're probably
It's
absolutely
probably
correct,
updated and very good.
and it's
Yeah.
probably very good.
Yeah.
Because I definitely notice when it's not good.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Super.
Yeah, I remember there was I think the Velar also, the Range Rover Velar. It was pretty egregious.
I think where Range Rovers kill it for me is that they shut down as you're coming to a stop.
Yes.
So if you're like cut,
BMWs do that too. And Mercedes
Yeah,
does
but
that.
it goes
Right.
into this like when
Oh,
you
it
like
gets
start
dark,
going
yeah.
again.
But once you
Yeah.
once you take your foot off the brake and you start to get going again, Range Rovers usually stumble for like
Yeah.
a
Oh,
half
yeah.
second
Yeah.
before they like. Oh, okay, let's go. Anyway,
Yeah. Not that
I
we're
digress.
start-stop enthusiasts. It's just like... and I woe to imagine the person who is. But it's kind of in our job description to notice these things.
kind of. We
And
should probably
it is
notice
actually
that.
an impressive feat of engineering to just
Yeah.
effectively delete a starter.
Yeah, make it like
Yeah.
fucking imperceptible, nearly imperceptible. Yeah, that was one of the standout features with the base powertrain. So I was curious if you also noticed that
Yeah, or didn't notice.
with yours.
If you
Or
didn't notice, that's a pretty good compliment.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's not the only fast Beamer SUV we have we've had lately.
Keep the Bavarian train going, baby. I got some cool shit going on.
I totally botched that transition, but God, that was just terrible. Jesus.
Sorry, you're just excited. You're excited.
Yeah,
You're
was.
excited.
I am. Oh my God. Nathan, this week, Nathan's in the 2025 Alpina XB7.
Hell yeah, brother.
It is, very green.
But it's also blue.
Yeah.
It is beautiful, actually.
So
what a color.
Context.
What a car.
This is gonna step aside and do one of like my catch up my mom commentaries here. So Alpina, very much like AMG used to be to Mercedes. They used to be separate companies that would like work pretty closely together. But Alpina got their start racing BMWs and then made a name for themselves, modifying them kind of a la carte, separate from BMW, and doing like really cool, wacky shit. So they always had like big ass equalizers and hi-fi setups in their cars, and like the really cool Recaro power seats with like a fucking entire phone with their controls on the side of the seat.
Gorgeous wheels,
and
obviously.
Gorgeous wheels,
always.
really cool inlays and pinstriping and body kits. Their cars were never about like being track weapons. They were just like really fast, beautiful executive cars. They were just different.
And the way BMW or the way Alpina used to do things was kind of cool in that BMW would basically build cars.
Yeah, build the car, ship it over to Alpina, and they would rip it apart and put it back together their own way.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but they also used to get like their like a new VIN as well, right?
That's a very German thing. Like AMG used to do that. Like Lorenzer Carlson, I think, does that. Roof does that. Like a lot of these like German tuning firms, they're different cars altogether. They're registered as different vehicles.
Sick.
But Alpina and BMW have been getting closer and closer over the years to a point where like it's been a long decades now, I think, where if you got your car modified by Alpina, BMW would honor the factory warranty still. Like that kind of closeness. And now they're so close that these Alpinas are just built on the same assembly line as BMWs. As far as I'm aware, I may be wrong. But I think like this car is a 5 VIN. Like it's built at the Spartanburg plant that I was at 3 months ago.
So is Alpina a sub-brand of BMW now? Or
I think they're kind of positioning like Mercedes has done with Maybach, and that it's kind of like a +1 ultra luxe thing.
Yeah, but Maybach it's an in-house brand. That's what I mean. Is Alpina now an in-house brand to BMW?
Yes, yeah. I'm like 99% sure. Don't hold me to it, but I'm 99% sure BMW took over Alpina.
Oh, okay.
But it still is like a pretty different, distinct identity. Like there's no BMW emblems in the car. Like it's an Alpina crest on the steering wheel, on the dash. Even the gauge face is different.
Yes.
Just like little shit to like keep it different and keep it exclusive, because these cars were always like very rare, very limited, and very big money.
So what's so special about this XB7 over like, you know, the X7 M60 that you had
that I had
like last year?
Loved.
Yeah.
Being an Alpina opens up a lot of exclusive options. So like this paint that we're in love with is only available on Alpina cars. It's like a very metallic, dark, like pearlescent blue-green with a bright green metallic flake. So it glows under bright light, and it's otherwise very subtle and shifts a lot. It's absolutely gorgeous. Alpina is probably most well known for their wheels.
Yeah.
And even on the winter setup on this thing, it still looks gangster as fuck.
It really does. Oh my God. It's all fun and games, but we always, tend to jab BMW's PR for like their winter setups and like, the winter setup doesn't look as obviously it doesn't look as
I appreciate
good as
that they
summer
keep a whole setup of different winter wheels around.
Yeah.
Like, I actually really admire that.
Right. But this Alpina doesn't lose anything being on its quote unquote winter setup.
Yeah. It
looks incredible.
It's still gangster. There's an Alpina body kit. There's additional performance envelope, so the already nasty fire-breathing engine has been cranked up even further to 630 horsepower.
630.
And that's 630 Bavarian horsepower.
Right.
Who the fuck knows how many are actually in there?
What does the X7 have?
560, 550?
Oh, so it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
So and it's still the 4.4 that
Yeah.
Shows up in everything.
It's the same
including Range
4.4.
Rovers.
I don't want to say the same. They've updated it a lot, but like
Same basic.
same base idea.
4.4.
Just cranked up even further. Sport exhaust.
Oh, God.
I think bespoke suspension tuning, but don't hold me to that.
No, I think that's normally an Alpina thing, right? Like a
Yeah,
suspension.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I don't recall last year's X7 having an extra comfort mode.
I think it did.
Really?
Yeah, so like the big BMWs have Comfort Plus.
But generally, the Alpina kind of does it like a tick lower than, let's say, like an M car, right? Like
yeah,
it's
they're not going for like track readiness. They're going
Yeah.
for just a really nice car that happens to be a bullet.
Fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're kind. It's kind of like a Grand Tourer philosophy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then like a lot of the interior trim is bespoke too. So like that really nice. There's lots of really pretty Alpina badging around, but like the wood trim in that is exclusive to Alpina. It's just a lot of like really very much like the Maybach. Like no really new standout features, just a lot of detail shit that's just nicer.
yeah.
And takes what was already a very accomplished vehicle and pushes it like into the stratosphere. The thing, you guys drove it. You tell me, what did you fucking think of it?
I didn't think it was possible to improve upon the physics-defying formula that goes in the regular X7, but oh my god. Jesus fuck. Something that big and that heavy should not move as fast as it does.
So when I drove it, it was some snow-covered roads, fresh snow. So I was
Yeah,
being
Yeah.
a responsible adult.
that's fair. I haven't actually thrown this thing around very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you instantly get the feeling of like powerful Grand Tourer. Like that's what I got out of it like right away. I think it sounds phenomenal.
It sounds delicious. Like I've knocked modern BMW V8s for
God.
not sounding great lately. This is exactly what I want. Like a big brawny, like
Yeah.
old school, just
So
burble.
I don't know if it's like if there's anything pumped in this one.
I think there's a little bit.
but like it feels authentic.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's coming out of the exhaust. Like if there is some augmentation, they've done a very good job of it. Because as we were talking about the X3M, the iconic sounds are very obvious.
Yeah.
You know they're fake, and yeah, sure, I have fun with them, but with the Alpina, I didn't get that sense.
Yeah, this does not do that.
No.
Yeah.
And there is a bespoke exhaust, right? You said, like,
Yeah, I'm like 95% sure
Yeah.
because like it is noticeably louder than
Oh yeah, this does.
than the X7 I had previously.
Yeah, this sounds almost completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like not the same, but like a vaguely. One of the things I really admire about big Benzes is how they don't mute their V8.
Yeah.
They just let it be a V8 because you paid money to be here.
Yeah.
So let's let it sing. And BMW is doing the same thing with this. It's or not Alpina, whatever. But it's so nice. It's what I want a big luxury truck to sound like.
And it feels very much like, just thinking about that Alpina, it feels very much like mission accomplished. Like it feels like this is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't feel compromised for what you expect an Alpina to be.
Yeah. And it handles really well. It rides beautifully.
Yeah.
It's still Mercedes, maybe just the tiniest little touch softer, maybe, but not in a bad way. Body control's excellent, handling's excellent. It drives like a giant 3.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of does. Also, in the interest of full disclosure, I had it out before you did, and the snow hadn't started. But by the time Imran took it out, so yeah, just throwing it out there. I try not to be an idiot in the snow.
Yeah, yeah, just
everywhere else. I'm just kidding.
That's I walked into that one. Yeah, checks out. I don't disagree.
Yeah, just like really nice, like big, powerful, like just silky smooth V8. Excellent chassis. And like the controls all feel great. Like it's all just like really nice, glassy smooth, like connected, tactile. Like it's a good balance of like all that you want in a Range Rover, but like with the BMW ness.
Yeah. And build quality.
And build quality.
Crispiness to it.
And like sound ergo. Because like that's the best gen of iDrive. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's just like...
No, 7 is, but that's still pretty good.
Honestly, it feels like Nick and I just drove it, and obviously Nathan's had it for what? Oh, you just picked it up yesterday.
Yeah,
that's right.
okay.
So, but we're all here like smiling about it. It's like we're reminiscing about it already.
Yeah.
It's just downstairs.
Yeah.
Like we just stop right now and
It's-
go driving right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just so nice.
It has this. Yeah, it has this like it infatuates you.
Yeah.
And yeah, you don't know every single reason why, but it's pretty much everything that Alpina's done to it, from the paint to the wheels to the sound.
It's
to
just
the,
so like it's so sexy, and it's so like it's a weird thing to say. Like people like big tough SUVs because they make them feel big and tough.
yeah.
That thing feels badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you feel like a cool guy in that thing. Like when I was driving
You are.
the big Range Rover, I felt like maybe sometimes in some context like a bit of a wiener. Maybe. I just feel like a cool guy in this stupid Alpina. Because it's like I don't want to say obnoxious, but like
It's
it's
not obnoxious.
pretty in your face.
Yeah.
Like it's very bold. It's very like it's
But
it's
somehow
got a
it's
ton of
not.
presence.
Yes.
But it's
Somehow
but
it's
it's
not.
executed so well that it works. I think part of it is the green. The green
Yeah.
fucks. And I love that there's bright work. There's no blackout trim.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I didn't. I
So
wasn't
like it's
thinking
just
about
like
that,
very
but yes.
subtle, just bling. Everything is brushed, like just nice brushed bright metal, not polished, just like brushed aluminum. Everything.
Yeah, like somehow like
Bright-
classic in a way. Like
Yeah, it's like classic elegance.
yeah.
Bright work works. Like even on the roof rails are the same, just like bright. Like because I spent like an hour and a half detailing the thing today because it was a mess,
Yeah.
and there's just a lot of time to just drink in the details. That thing is fucking delicious.
That's the thing. Back over to the Range Rover comment real quick. So I had the Range Rover in Autobiography in late December, was it? Yeah, late December. That thing was spec'd in matte black with like whatever they call their blackout package.
Yeah,
With like the big black 23s.
yeah, and everything else is murdered out. Yeah,
Like it was. When you're saying you, in some of them you feel a little potentially a little weenie. This one I felt like I owned everything. Like everywhere I stopped was like I own this building. Like,
Yeah.
To be fair, that was a pretty gangster spec.
it was like kudos
Like,
to Range Rover for
I fucking hate satin matte black or whatever
But it, like-
on black wheels, but that thing pulls it
Yeah.
the fuck off.
literally
Like,
everywhere.
that owns it.
I like had an extra pep in my step everywhere I stepped out. It was just like you literally felt like I'm either a drug dealer or I literally own this plaza that I'm in right now. This is mine.
So converse experience 2 years ago when I had the enormous like ceramic white Range Rover with bronze trim and like a white and bronze interior.
Yeah.
I drove that downtown through Church Street during Pride weekend, like through that whole area to get to the brewery.
Yeah.
And I felt like people were cutting me off deliberately.
See, that's
I am the villain.
but that's why you get the matte black because you're still the villain, but you're the villain you don't fuck with.
They don't
Like,
they don't fuck with you.
Like they're like who's in there?
Yeah, I felt conspicuously like the 1%.
Yeah. And that actually kind of ties into the question that I wanted to follow up on. Not the white one per se, but the $230,000 question. I'm assuming this thing is well over two. Well over two.
So my white Range Rover
Oh God.
with the 4 seats, because it was the executive seating power, so it was full reclining seats and the champagne chiller. That thing was $300,000.
Yeah.
You
Because that
had
was the SV, right?
yeah, that was the SV, and you had a short SV, and that was $280 if my memory serves.
That 310.
$310. Okay.
My non-SV I think was close around 235.
Right.
Yeah.
And the gray one I had,
Yep.
I actually don't remember. Was that 260? 250?
No, I think that was around 230 as well. Because
it wasn't
we
the
had
SV, it was the Autobiography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had the internal argument here. Are the SV trappings really worth an extra $100,000?
Extra $100,000, yeah.
In a shorty.
Yeah, because the long wheelbase range, and it's the same big ass BMW engine, it's wonderful, and the same ZF8 speed, but just very Land Rover, Range Rover style and feel. They drive beautifully. Like I'm kind of split in my head of like what just like around town low speed just feels nicer. I'm still kind of split on it, honestly. But this XB7, for all its kick-assness, is $195.
What?
Yeah.
Under 200.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
$195 as tested.
Get the fuck out.
With the paint, with that interior, this gorgeous Tartufo cinnamon merino leather. $190 and the Bowers and Wilkins premium pack and the Sky Lounge roof. $195.
Jesus fuck! I was gonna ask you the $200K question. What are you taking for like 230, 250 grand?
Fucking zero brainer, buddy.
Oh my god!
So
They just don't miss.
so that's interesting. Like I because obviously like you don't see these anywhere.
No, you don't. Right? I don't know if they're actually limited production or not.
Conversely, you do see Range Rovers everywhere.
A ton.
Yeah.
Like every single you see the SVs, autobiographies everywhere. Like
Yeah.
so people are willing to shell out 200 plus.
Well, same
for
thing with the G-Wagons,
Range.
right? Like they're objectively like very flawed.
Yes.
But they look rad and people want that thing.
You know what it is? I think with the Alpina, it's
You got to know.
yeah, it's very much you got to know.
Yeah.
It's not
kind of a secret handshake kind of a thing.
yeah, you can't if you roll up somewhere and you have a Range, everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, you don't got to explain a Range Rover.
Yeah.
You have to explain, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be this obnoxious at the funeral. But,
Oh god!
Well, in the Matt Back one, they're going to think I shot the guy.
yeah. Isn't it rude for you to be here?
What are you doing here?
Maybe violent, but I'm respectful.
Yeah.
But I think with Alpina is like part of their allure is their understated elegance,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
And
very understated. You don't know if that guy is an assassin or owns the assassination firm. Like,
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is very much. It's you have to know, and it is they perfectly execute this understated elegance. And I think if someone was like, I want to be parking lot pimping, and this is not objectively cooler to the average public than an X7,
yeah.
because the average public doesn't know.
Because they don't know, right? They'll see like, oh, like the paint on that is sick. Like the kit's neat. It's got like the most gangster ass rims you can buy. Like, so it look like they all look great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, people don't care, right? Like, I want the iPhone. I want the G-Wagon. I want they just want the things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, in some ways it's kind of nice that it hasn't been commercialized in that sense. And
Yeah. It's still like
that
the
aura.
different one.
Yep.
Yeah.
But doesn't lose anything for being the different one. I also like, I think we all kind of appreciate different shit, right? Others might not.
Yeah, I think that's
So
what
much.
it is. But it'd be like, I don't know. I've certainly never seen an XB7 on the road. Have you? Have either of you?
I don't recall.
No.
I've seen a couple
neither.
sevens. They're more known for like the big cars.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
sevens.
I've maybe seen one or two.
Yeah.
Of
Same.
but that's
The
it.
7s and the 8s.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
They did it with the Grand Coupe, but yeah, now that you mention it, I honestly can't recall seeing any sort of.
So they might be
XB7 in a
limited.
while.
Actually, I've been meaning to like contact BMW about this. Like, is this limited run? Like, can I walk into a BMW dealer
Get it,
right
yeah.
now and buy one of these?
If it is limited
Yeah,
and it still comes in $200,000,
that's fucking rad.
Yeah,
that's
holy
even cooler.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, because not everybody and their grandmother can have one.
Yeah,
Um,
which is nice.
yeah, like it's
Like it's actually exclusive. It's actually special.
without having. I mean, yes, 195 is a lot of money, and
Yeah.
just for our listeners,
it-
the three of us combined are not buying that. Like, but
Yeah,
but
that's kind of crazy. They were saying like, oh, under 200,
Yeah.
it's a deal. March, we can't
yeah,
afford
It's all relative,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
But like, yeah, compared to what else, like even like a Mercedes, like a GLS 63, and I really like the 580 I had.
Yeah.
That would be over 2. Like, comparably equipped
I am.
with the nice
That's
Burmeister in the panel.
Kind
And
of
then,
nuts.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Nick, I am shocked that this is came in under 200,000.
right? Like, it's bonkers. And like, I checked. I'm not wrong. Like, this is the material sent to me from our guy at BMW. Like,
You get 630 horsepower.
yes.
You get a unique but understated look.
Yep. You get the best paint,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The best wheels.
the best wheels, the best leather.
And, and potentially a limited run.
Yeah.
But certainly unique, no matter
Certainly,
even if it's
no matter
limited
what,
or
it's
not.
different. And like one of the things I've noticed in the used market is that it's kind of a running joke, like big luxury vehicles, and especially unfortunately true for BMW 7s in particular, they depreciate off a fucking cliff.
Yep.
Alpinas don't.
Mm.
Like, yes, they still depreciate, but not nearly as hard as a regular 7 does.
Mm-hmm.
And how much is the X7 M60?
I think the last one I had was 158 with every option box ticked.
Okay.
So like it's still like a 30, 35 premium over.
Yeah, but you're talking about the paint, the wheels, the exhaust, the power, the interior.
Yeah.
the
Yeah, you do get a
uniqueness,
meaningful
You do get a
performance
meaningful
bump.
amount of shit, and the exclusivity factor.
Yeah. And if you're actually talking about that depreciation curve, at some point they're going to
I think you'll get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound financial advice. Get an XB7.
Get an Alpina.
Just do it. You can't afford not to.
If you're getting a big BMW, get an Alpina. Save your money.
That's kind of, honestly, not the worst financial advice, if I'm being perfectly honest. At least in the grand scheme
I feel like in the interest of
flagship
full
BMWs.
disclosure for our listeners, I am fucking destitute. Do not listen to me.
Yeah. Please speak to your financial advisor. This does not constitute financial advice.
Yeah. Also, don't listen to a word we're saying. And on that note, on the slightly more affordable end, in the garage this week, we also have a new EV from Volvo.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week, and we're really curious to get into it.
We were. So Nathan and I, because Imran was too good for us last week.
Just last week?
Got him.
Yeah.
I need to stop.
So basically, Nathan and I are coming into week 3 of having electric Volvos in the office.
Oh yeah, brother.
So we started with the EC40, formerly known as the C40.
Yeah.
I had that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nathan had the
EX40,
which
formerly known as the XC40 Recharge, which I actually, so we were kind of like not hot on it when we were doing the podcast.
Yeah.
I warmed up to it considerably.
Yeah.
I like that vehicle a lot. I still struggle with parts of it, but I like it a lot.
And now we're in what you could basically consider the next generation of like the next evolution of the EC40 and the EX40. We're in the 2025 Volvo EX30, their first basically new from the ground up EV.
Yeah, well, that and the EX90.
Yeah.
And I think they're on the same like scalable architecture. I think.
Oh, yeah?
Don't hold me to it. The EX90 for sure is like all new.
Yeah, the EX90. I read that's a Reskin Polestar 3.
Don't hold me to it.
So those share the same platform.
I thought Polestar and Volvo divorced.
No.
I thought they did.
No.
Whatever. But like important distinction. So like the EC40 and the EX40 are existing platforms that have been around for quite some time.
Yes, basically,
the EX30 is brand the shit ass.
Yes.
And smaller than both of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically the EX and the EC40, they were formerly gas powered Volvos at first. The EX30 is strictly electric from the ground up.
Yeah.
It's meant to be electric since day one.
Yeah.
So is the EX30 sort of the entry into Volvo's EV world?
Right now it is. So ours is the dual motor all-wheel drive tester.
Yeah, which I think is almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same, as the EC and EX40 that you and I just had.
Yes. So very similar power numbers. They're both 402
horsepower, if my memory serves right.
Yeah, they're all pushing well over 400 horsepower. Similar size batteries. Similar range too. And I was kind of hoping for an improved range experience here, considering Last year, I had the XC40 Recharge and wasn't great. This year, had the EX40 God damn it! This fucking naming convention.
Yeah,
is just
don't
confusing
get
as
too
hell.
far into it. They both suffer. Like both of our most recent Volvos suffered.
They all suffered very poorly
for
in
the
winter.
cold, and this one is also. So I just took yours out when it was at 100% charge. It was showing estimated 288 kilometers range.
288.
Yeah.
So
out of a max 4 and change.
450-ish. Yeah.
I think on the single motors it's like 475.
Yeah.
I think it takes a hit for the dual motor.
And it's not even like it's not freezing today.
It was a lot colder last week.
Yeah.
So
and it was more of a hit.
Yeah. So this week is I'd probably say it's as cold as when we had the EC40. But yeah, the best I got out of it today was like I plugged in today. Literally a day after I picked it up. With like maybe about 80 kilometers left.
Wow.
I just barely crested 200 kilometers on a full charge.
Yeah, they're very pessimistic. I think with Volvo, because I noticed this, I was thinking about it more after we spoke about it. I think like the range calculator is very adaptive and kind of hard to keep track of, especially like if
it keeps jumping up and down.
Well, it keeps bouncing around a lot because it's trying to adapt to routines that don't exist because it's in different hands in a different use case every week. So I just like keep track of percentage. So like let's start doing it with my EX40. It's 25 kilometers for me to get home, and that would cost me 10%. Last week when it was like bitter ass cold. And I kind of use that as like a rough yardstick, which is still not great.
No. And I was kind of expecting better from the EX30 because it's built on a new architecture. There's more updated charging and battery tech on board. I'd say so far that's probably been the only letdown because the rest of it's actually kind of pretty decent.
I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it looks great. I
like the look.
So this has been a point of contention. I think we all agree exterior styling, bang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It is a small crossover. It is for a crossover SUV, fake SUV. It is exceptionally low slung.
Yes.
So interesting tidbit actually. Parked in my driveway, in my tandem driveway.
It's lower than your GTI.
It is slightly taller than my GTI.
Okay.
Just
But
barely, huh?
in every other dimension, it's pretty much the same size.
Yeah, so it's small, but it doesn't feel small inside.
No,
it's
it
like
doesn't.
meaningfully smaller because you and I were like, I don't know, it's probably gonna have about the same interior room as the 40s and No, it's a lot smaller.
Yeah, I can't sit behind myself in the rear seat.
Yeah, I can, but
tight.
it's snug. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's very
on the old 40 chassis, there's lots of room. So that's where some of that money goes.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna say?
But I like
the interior design.
It's a little contentious, isn't it?
I love it.
I liked it too.
It's been a point of contention around the office, and I think it's split a lot of us up.
It leans a bit too much into minimalism for me. I think the previous gen products, those struck a really good balance between the niceness that makes a Volvo what it is and the whole trademark Swedish minimalism. The EX30 I find leans into minimalism a bit too hard, and it kind of takes things from other EVs that don't necessarily work particularly well.
That minimalism saved
And it
15
applies
grand. It's a lot cheaper than an EX40.
So
Yeah.
I guess that's part of this.
There's
part
two
of
sides
it.
to every coin. That's true. It does pay dividends, especially in price. I was shocked to learn this thing cost like 58 grand as tested.
As tested. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. That's actually pretty impressive, all things considered.
Whereas my EX40 was 75.
Wow.
With the same powertrain, same battery, same
58
charging.
grand.
Yeah.
Wow, that's isn't the average price of a car these days like right around that mark?
Pretty much, yeah.
Average vehicle transaction is a shade over 50.
Like that's
That's across everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about on par.
I don't know if that includes borrowing.
It's about on par price-wise with a base Ioniq 5. Then again, the Ioniq 5 is vastly bigger.
Yeah. But this is like...
Is it? I always feel like they're small. In my head, I always think the Ioniq 5 was a little vehicle.
No,
They're like not cramped. I don't mean in a bad way, but in
No,
my head,
no,
it's always small.
It has like 80s hatchback styling.
Yeah.
But like
It looks like a hatchback, but
it's on a big body.
Oh yeah, it's deceptively big once you get up close to it.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
It's I think it's the opposite of like most exotic cars look very large in photos and are actually quite tiny.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Ioniq 5 was like a weird invert of that.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. I remember like first seeing pictures of it. I'm like, they're making like a hot hatch.
Like a hot
EV?
hatch.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking big.
No, it's like a full out crossover. Like,
I don't get it, but whatever.
but the EX30, so I know where you're like, I get where you're going with the previous gen Volvos. They like split the difference very well.
And it felt nice. They felt very nice inside.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is, there's maybe a bit too much Tesla for my liking in the main screen. It does the ID4's split window controls, which we all know just work fantastic in the ID4. So I'm really happy Volvo stole that.
But it works. How often do you need to open the rear windows? And if you do, it's just right there. And you have this, instead of having 70 switches throughout the car, there's just 2 in the middle, like the Germans used to do, because it was a great idea.
So you could just have 2 more.
I mean, yeah, but like whatever.
But I think overall though, like this, it feels like the simplicity. It's kind of unfortunate that it's sort of
so minimal. There's no buttons.
Yeah, like in some way, like regressing to the mean of most EVs, which is just like we put a tablet in the center and that's it. Like,
but it's a very nice tablet.
It is, and I appreciate the updated.
I think it's one of the best tablets. I don't know that there's a better tablet.
It is, and Nathan and I talked about this last week, so I'm not going to rehash this in great detail. But I actually didn't mind.
The old one?
I actually don't mind Volvo's old sense of software.
I don't hate it, but the new one is like quantum.
Yeah, it feels like
so much better.
I agree. This new one it's actually pretty slick.
Yeah, like I think like among the best in the industry. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah, it works very well. I also just like the interior. I love how, kind of like how we were talking with the X3M and how they did something different with the ambient lighting. I like how they have the glow on the doors.
Yeah,
like it feels very...
That's nice.
It's quite nice.
There's only like 4 touch points. There's a door handle, and it's a nice aluminum hoop that feels great, and it's floating. It's really nice. The steering wheel feels nice. The stalks, like there's like your wiper and Prindle stalks.
Yeah.
Those are your only touch points, and they feel really nice.
Yeah.
Like it's super minimalist, but they focused on the points that matter.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like... Whereas Tesla kind of feels like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? It seems like Volvo like paid attention to that aesthetic. Let's do that, but do it right.
So
kind of thing. Kind of like what Rivian did, for the most part. Like a lot of context sensitive. Like let's use these buttons to do multiple things instead of having one button for one function.
Kind of like the mirror controls, in that when you select the function through the screen,
they're on the steering wheel.
Yep. But normally that's like volume control. Yeah, volume control.
Yeah. But why do we need to design the separate switch for that and produce it and put it in the vehicle? We could just simplify the look and put it into this instead.
Because
and we'll pass the savings on to the consumer.
Is that a Swedish accent?
I don't know.
That's a German. That's a German accent. The flip side to that, and sort of ties into my next rant. The flip side to that is yes, that, and
sorry.
The flip side to that is the driver distraction software in this thing is probably the most annoying that I've ever used.
No, it's got to be Subaru.
It's not as bad as Subaru. It's not as bad as Subaru to me.
It's got to be Subaru.
Not as bad. With the
when
EX30,
I had my Outback, I put my hat over the dashboard because it was pissing me off so much.
The EX30 complains to me when I fiddle through the touchscreen in order to adjust my mirrors on the highway.
What are you adjusting your mirrors
Maybe you
for?
should be doing that.
Because I look over and I think, okay, you know what? I can probably set my mirror a little higher. In any other car, literally any other car, I reach over, flip the switch, make the change. Okay, cool. It's perfect. With this thing, I'm fucking digging through the menus, and as a result, because I take away my eyes off the road for that split second, the distraction mitigation software, whatever, is like, no, you're distracted. Don't look at the screen. Focus on the road. Why are you telling me? Are you admitting to me that your own tech, your own implementation is distracting?
Yes, but by Volvo's own admission, which I heard from the engineers personally, you set this up when you're stopped once, and then you never touch it again. There's a lot of actually.
This is user error, Nick.
And actually,
God damn it!
No, but actually, like this is something that BMW brought up as well. Like, there's a lot of things that journalists complain about with BMWs
that normal people don't care
that
about.
normal people don't give a shit about because it's their car. They set it up once and and then forget about it.
Yeah.
There is a disconnect.
We're like, I heard from our PR guy, like, you guys are a weird use case because you're bouncing around all the time. You're not normal people.
Right.
Like, we set it up for normal people and it works very well.
So I guess just start giving us Alpina XB7s for a month at a time.
Hell yeah, brother. But yeah, like, I noticed today that, like, it chirped me for inattentive, but in its defense, I was looking on my phone.
Hypothetically speaking, officer.
Yeah, totally hypothetical. But it's not just with the mirror controls.
Got me, okay, yeah, fair.
Even
Subaru is like, you're looking forward and it beeps at you. You're like, I am looking forward.
see, funny enough, I never gathered that with Subaru systems. Like, but maybe because Subaru knows that I have a closet Subaru fetish. It's like, oh, you're cool. You can use your phone. I'm not gonna complain. But like, even with like changing your, Spotify, whatever, your next track on the on your radio station, whatever. Even then, it bitches at me because apparently looking over at their own screen is too distracting.
Yeah, but that's not like Toyota does that. Lexus does that. Toyota chirps really hard for that.
I've never noticed that in those things.
No, Toyota, you like look at your side view mirror and it's like, pay attention to the road. And you're like, I'm switching lanes.
Yeah, Mercedes does that. My Alpine does that.
I have literally never experienced these driver.
I think it's because you're spending so much time fucking with the screen because it's really nice. But a lot of cars do this. I've seen it a lot. Yo, something about this XB7 that I noticed, and I'm sure all the X7s do it, but I just noticed it in this one first. So it has Bavarian Jesus hands-free driving, which is fucking incredible.
Right.
But I've noticed, and maybe this was an existing setting that I didn't notice before, but I've noticed it now, is that it will do the automatic lane change. So before, if you like flick the turn signal stalk, it would like execute a lane change for you, right? And, like, we knew that, and that was good. Now it will do an automatic lane change.
Because it just thinks it's optimal?
Because it thinks it's optimal, because the car in front of you is going too slow. Hey, change lanes. But it will say, look right to change lanes.
What?
Oh.
And it will watch your eyes. It will watch you to look in the right mirror. And once it verifies that you have looked, the car is also looking.
Of course.
But, like, once it's verified that you've looked, it will do the lane change. It's fucking crazy.
That is cool.
And, like, because before it was like, look left to change lanes. Like, look left to what? What the fuck are you talking about? And then it would hang there for a few seconds and go away. And then, boom, look left to change lanes. Like,
that is
wait, you literally want me to look in the left mirror? Oh, fuck. And then once you look, it will do it. It's fucking crazy how good it is.
Wow. It's also pretty genius because it's like, it's the whole, like, hands-free driving is not fully hands-free driving.
Yeah.
And so I want you to be the triple check.
Yeah, be the triple check.
Yeah.
Let's not just do this for you. Like, it has, like, every camera and sensor on Earth to make sure, like, it won't do the lane change unless it thinks it's fine. But it wants you to be, like, that last line of defense just in case. And it's being really slick about it, so you don't actually have to do anything other than not even tilt your head. Just look. It's watching your retinas.
Wow.
Kind of smart.
It's fucking incredible.
Get an Alpina XB7.
God,
that's right.
Sound financial advice.
Well, clearly, I'm in the minority with my bitchings about the EX3's.
I get it. I know what you're talking about, and it's annoying, but, like, at least in my short time with it, it didn't strike me as being egregious.
Yes. Yeah, same. But we just had short stints.
Yes.
I otherwise really like it. It is super minimalist. I get why. I mentioned this earlier. I get why someone might not like it.
Yeah.
It's very new. It's very neo. It's very obviously following modern trends, but I don't think it's being overly trendy.
Yeah, I felt like I don't know. I did feel like a coziness to that interior for some reason.
Yeah, like with the X3, with like the door card design. There's some question of like, is that a little much?
Right.
Did you need to do that? I didn't get that in the Volvo.
No, me neither. I think like thoughts aside, in how hard it leans into minimalism, it does feel very welcoming.
Yeah.
It does feel and especially the ambient lighting, it's really slick.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
In the EX30. Did you notice the ride's kind of loud? Like
I did not.
Surprisingly loud.
But like I just took it around the block. Just,
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually thought it was quite quiet, but I was on a bed of snow. So,
That's
that kind
the
of
thing.
dampened the sound for
Yeah,
everything.
so, like-
I actually thought it was surprisingly quiet.
Yeah, so like on the highway, on pavement, mind you, there's much more wind and road noise than I
Really?
would expect from like
Okay.
any Volvo.
I didn't take it on the highway, right?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to move this along, so I just took it around the block. Like, yeah, it's a Volvo. Drives like a Volvo. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little loud for a Volvo, but by and large,
It's also a cheap. It's a Volvo
Yeah,
priced like an Ioniq 5.
well, that's the thing.
$50.
The price really does like ease a lot of my,
Especially at the
qualms with it.
performance envelope. Are you sure this thing is 58? Because like I thought the single motor was 58. Because I priced it out last week, and I thought a dual motor was 62. Like a loaded dual motor was 62.
I have the.
It's like it's $300 or $3,500 for the extra motor.
Okay.
So like not a big outlay either way.
Yeah.
But
I mean, 62 is still not terrible.
still quite good.
But 58 is shockingly good.
Yeah, very good. And especially, okay, so I think the last Ioniq 5 I had was like a relatively base single motor one with the long range, so
Right.
like estimated 500 kilometers range. And that was 58, if my memory serves.
Okay.
This has
Okay, so I was wrong.
way more power.
It wasn't under 60.
It's 195,000.
63, yeah, for the dual motor. Okay.
So still, call it 60 grand. It's
Okay.
it's still pretty good value.
Yeah, and if you give up
It
the
is
dual
good
motor
value.
option, you get more range, and you're at that point price and performance comparative with an Ioniq 5.
Yeah.
The $60,000 question, fellas. I really like this Volvo. The
I
Ioniq
do
5 is
too.
really fucking good, but
So
I'm also a Volvo fanboy, so like I'm
I also like the Ioniq 5 is actually fantastic in virtually every form.
yeah.
Like right up to the end. But this one, I really appreciate the fact that there is a very compact EV.
Mm-hmm.
I'm generally a fan of smaller vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of really like that this exists.
Yeah, but it's not too compact.
No, it's like,
City sized.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like we're not talking about a Fiat, but
Yeah.
but it's like right sized.
Yeah.
It's not like unnecessarily big.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
What would you go for?
I really like it. And like to me, to my eye, maybe need to spend. I will spend more time with it later. I'm going to have the single motor one in a few weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Volvo. I like the way Volvos feel and do stuff. They
Yeah.
feel nice. They feel like a really well thought out, well crafted premium product.
I think I'm Camp Ionic
Yeah?
with this one. Yeah. I feel like what really reels me back onto the Ionic end of the spectrum is that
Window switches?
no, I mean maybe no, the fact that the base rear-wheel drive Ioniq 5, the one that you had, Nathan,
Yeah.
that was surprisingly fun. Like I was not expecting that to be as fun as it was, being
That's fair.
rear-wheel drive and like under 60 grand and while also having the most range.
Yeah. Actually, before I forget, when they had that thing, it was also bitterly, miserably cold.
yes, it was.
And the range was nerfed to about 280, 300K. So,
I got like 350 out of that thing.
yeah? Okay.
When I in the cold, you using it normally, I still got like 350.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So a bit more. I guess you could expect more reliable range performance as well in cold weather out of the Ioniq 5.
Hard to say. I don't think we've done enough. I mean, like, you're actually really good about evaluating this, so I defer to you. Because you actually run cars down and see how far they'll go. You're very good about that.
Yeah, because I definitely got like over 300 with that thing in the fucking coldest week of 2024.
You know who's pretty good and accurate with EV ranges? BMW.
Because they just don't miss. God dang.
Seriously, I remember thinking that for the i5.
How do we end up doing like one of these just pro BMW episodes every 4 weeks?
Hey, and I don't know if you guys are converting me. Well, I think the cars are converting me, but
you literally have one.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the DC BMW Circle Jerk Fest. This week we're talking about BMWs. What's up?
Oh God.
Yeah.
But I think I'm still going Ioniq 6. Sorry, Ioniq 5.
That's fair. I don't think there's a wrong answer here.
No, there isn't really a wrong one. Honestly, I'm probably wrong. The Ioniq 5 is probably a better vehicle to live with. I just like Volvos a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, that pretty much takes us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you all for tuning in. If you all wish to keep tabs on our automotive misadventures, you can do so at doubleclutch.ca on our socials. Imran, thanks for taking the time to, come hang out.
Always.
Appreciate it.
I love it. I love to.
You sure about that?
I am sure.
You had to think about that.
Sure.
Yeah, you had to think about that.
I was going to make some quip about leaving my child behind to see you guys.
Bro, what the fuck?
It just didn't come to me.
What a deadbeat dad, man.
I was going to be shitty, but I forgot how to be good at it, so I'm just going to tell you that I was planning to be shitty.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a question. Fuck you.
And, Nathan's here. Nathan's here every week, so thanks, I guess, whatever.
What the fuck? I wasn't here 2 weeks ago. You didn't even bother the podcast.
See, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
So does absinthe.
And, of course, last but not least, thanks for listening, Nathan's mom.